Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football, welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. This is your preview for our Carabao Cup fixture, Chelsea versus Aston Villa. Now we don't have it as easy as Manchester City, with all due respect to Wickham, because Man City are playing Wickham. And on top of that, Man City are playing Wickham tonight. Unlike us, we're playing tomorrow night. So Man City are going to get 1 day extra, which probably doesn't really come into too much context for this fixture. Why? Because everyone's going to be rotated. Let's have it right. Man City are going to be heavily rotating their team. Chelsea are going to be heavily rotating their team. So I think both teams are going to be resting. Once it comes to the weekend, you'll see a fresh Man City team ready. You'll see a fresh Chelsea team ready. So looking forward to the weekend, but we're going to have the slightly harder fixture, because it's Aston Villa at the end of the day. And you've got to show them respect, because Aston Villa are playing very, very well at the moment. We've come up against them very recently. We dispatched of them quite effectively. However, they just beat Everton 3-0. You know, and fair play Everton. I mean, fair play Everton, not fair play Everton. Fair play Aston Villa. Everton, don't know, you know, if they're hot, cold. Can't really read Everton very well, but that's a topic for a different day, because this is Chelsea Aston Villa that we're talking about. Carabao Cup. This is where it gets a little bit interesting. And this is where I'm going to put a little spanner in the works. Because normally, I'd come on here, even on a Carabao Cup game, and I'd be saying, yeah, you know what? It's a cup. We got to go all in, right? It's a trophy. Let's try and win it. And that doesn't really change. However, priorities have changed. Yeah? Chelsea have stepped up levels now. We are no longer in the kids leagues. We are in the big boy leagues now. We are competing for the Premier League title. We are competing for the Champions League title to retain. Yeah, to retain, not to win, to retain, to win again. That is a different spectrum. Not only that, we're looking to try and win the FA Cup, because we've been in 2 finals for the last couple of years and we've lost both. So maybe we can turn that around. We've got the Club World Cup in December that we want to win as well. We've never won that. There's a lot on the table. There's a lot of games. It's a packed out calendar. It's a packed out schedule. So you've got to take into context that if we were to get eliminated in the Carabao Cup, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. So putting that into context, putting that in mind, put in the fact that we've got such a heavy schedule and resting players is going to be key when the opportunity arises. Tomorrow is that. Tomorrow is that opportunity. And yes, it's against Aston Villa. I would still rotate heavy. I'd rotate very heavy. Why? Because 2 reasons. One, we get to rest our key players that we know are going to be playing week in, week out for Chelsea. First team, Champions League, Premier League, when it's non-stop. And secondly, well, it's the Carabao Cup. And we can afford it. Simple as that. On top of that, even with our second string, third string teams, if you're talking about players that don't even get minutes, they're still good players. So even with a heavily rotated team, tomorrow we are still putting out a strong team. That's how good Chelsea's depth is at the moment. Now, in relation to Aston Villa, I know Leon Bailey is a very serious doubt. So that's that's a stab in the back when it comes to Aston Villa and their availability. But I do expect Aston Villa to put out a strong team. Why? Because they don't have the schedule we do. They're not competing for trophies like we are. And they don't have games every 3 days like we do. We had the Premier League game against Aston Villa, funnily enough. We've had a Champions League game, then a Premier League game against Tottenham, then this game, then we've got a Premier League game against City, then we've got Juventus. There's a game every 3 days, literally. Aston Villa don't have that. Aston Villa can literally chill, play their strong team. Yes, they've played a Premier League game, they play tomorrow, and then they play a Premier League game. That's 1 week of heavy fixtures. Oh, big deal. You know, after that, they go back to 1 game a week. It's not a big deal for them. They can see through 1 week of heavy fixture. With us, it's every 3 weeks now. Literally, 3 weeks of heavy fixtures. And maybe more, maybe more. We'll see what happens. But Aston Villa, I think, are going to put out a very strong team. Putting that into context, this is going to be very, very interesting to see. Who should we play? Because there's a few names that I've stuck in the lineup that I feel like should play. and I think might get minutes. We'll see though. Anyway, without further ado, let's jump into the starting 11 and what I think Thomas Tuchel should do. Thomas Tuchel did signal a couple of names in the press conference earlier on, and one of them is a name that I've selected. So without further question, let's get into it. So, let's start with the goalkeeper. Now, this is a question mark because Edouard Mendy is currently still out, and he's a doubt for the Man City game on the weekend. He's a doubt. Now, if he is not going to play, or if Chelsea behind the scenes have not made it public, and they've got doubts about Edouard Mendy, I would play Bettinelli tomorrow. I would. If there's a serious doubt that Mendy cannot play against Manchester City, and we're gonna need Kepa, play Bettinelli tomorrow. Now, if Mendy's looking like he will be fit for Saturday, and he will be ready for the Man City game, then cool. We go to Kepa in goal, and I think that's just the logical thing to do. That is why I've stuck him there, because realistically, I think Mendy will be available for the City game. But that's just my gut feeling. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So I'd say Kepa just for now, but if Mendy is a serious doubt, play Bettinelli tomorrow, play Kepa against City. Now, the back three, I've stuck a surprise in here. I think it's a name that a lot of people have forgotten about. Anyway, let's get to it. So, I've gone with Chalobah at right centre-back. That's not the surprise name. Chalobah hasn't featured for quite a few games now. So, it'll be very nice for him to get 90 minutes tomorrow. Give him 90 minutes. Let him play 90 minutes against Aston Villa. It's good minutes. It's a good run out. It's against a Premier League team. Have it. So, Chalobah, right centre-back. In centre-back, I would go Christensen. He didn't play against Tottenham. We relied on Thiago Silva. Or did Christensen? Christensen did play. Sorry, my mind's all over the place. He did play. But anyway, I think it will be very fitting in the fact that he can go back to centre-back, where he doesn't consume so much energy, but he can just take up that role. It gives Thiago Silva a chance to rest. It gives others a chance to rest, like Azpilicueta, and I think it would be beneficial for Christensen. And in terms of left centre-back, I've rotated. Yes, I have. And what have I gone with? I've gone with Malang Sarr. Yes, Malang Sarr. And it's just hit me. Christensen didn't play against Spurs, did he? Oh, my mind's all over the place. What's going on? Anyway, this is what happens when you play every 3 days. Aston Villa wouldn't know. Anyway, Malang Sarr, I would go left centre-back. And I'd give Antonio Rudiger some rest. He gets some rest now. Let him have a day off. Yeah, he'll play against Manchester City. Malang Sarr is training with the squad. He hasn't gone out on loan. He hasn't been sold. He's still there. Use him. He's even got a number 31. So use him. Let him be used in defence. Let's see what he can come up with. Let him have 90 minutes and let's see how he performs. That should be the back three as far as I'm concerned. Now, in terms of our wing backs, these are more go-to. These are more familiar names. Chilwell gets 90 minutes tomorrow. There's no excuse for him to not play tomorrow. As simple as that. There is no excuse. He has to play tomorrow. Simple as that. Alonso has been a rock. He deserves a rest. Let him be ready for the Man City game. Chilwell starts tomorrow and he has a chance to prove himself. Let him play 90 minutes and let's see what he can do. Even though we know what he's going to do. It's just Alonso's been incredible, so you can't really bench him. But anyway, Reece James goes at right wing back. He didn't play against Tottenham. He's had time to be on the bench and not really feature. So it would be nice to bring him back in tomorrow for 90 minutes. And if we do use him against Manchester City, he can still play that one as well. He's fresh. So he's ready to go. Now in midfield, this is where it gets a little saucy. And this is where you got to pick up the phone. Better call Saul. You better call Saul. So let's go with Saul in midfield for this one. Give Jorginho the rest. Give Kante the rest. He's just come back, so let Kante recover some more. Let him be ready for the Man City game. Give Kovacic some rest. So you're probably thinking, well, Younes, that's all we have. Just Saul. Who else are we going to play there? I'd give Saul the opportunity against opposition that he failed against when he made his debut. He didn't have a good game at all. Let's see if he's adapted. Let's see, since that game, if he's been training well, if his mind has managed to process the speed of the English game. Let's see. Saul would be one that I would feature. Alongside him is where we say, welcome back. Welcome back, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Now, yes, some of you are probably thinking, well, Younes, why would you play him in a 6? Right? At the moment, I think it's all we can play him in. And when I come to the forward line, you guys are probably going to agree. Loftus-Cheek needs to make a comeback, though. He needs to make a return. We need to see what level he's at. And tomorrow, he plays 90 minutes for me. For me, all of these lads play 90. There's no point of subbing. You might as well let them have the whole game. Even if we are looking like we're going to lose, you know what? Maybe we can bring on a player or two to salvage the game. But at the end of the day, it's the Carabao Cup. We're on to bigger things. If Aston Villa, with a very decent team, get a result, it's not the end of the world. But for me, seeing what level Loftus-Cheek is at is going to be key. And for me, I would stick him in that position alongside Saul. We'll see what happens. Gives Cover the rest. Gives Georgie the rest. Gives Kante the rest. Hopefully, Loftus-Cheek has a very good comeback and a very good game. And Thomas Tuchel spoke about Loftus-Cheek in the press conference and mentioned everything about his mentality, about the way he is, about the way that he's been working hard, and it's very good to hear. Loftus-Cheek was very unfortunate with his injury and the way, the circumstances, the fashion it all went down in. It shouldn't have happened, but it happened, and it's very unfortunate. And even so, I don't think he has a big future at Chelsea, but give him the chance. Tomorrow is the one and only chance that he will get. So play him. Simple. Now, we go to the front three. And this is why I'm playing Loftus-Cheek in a 6. Because there are a couple of positions in behind the striker that I feel like are crucial and important. Starting off with Ziyech. Let's bring Ziyech onto his preferred right-hand side. And let's see what he can do in a game that doesn't have much pressure to it. Let him have 90 minutes as well. And let's see what Ziyech can do against Aston Villa in a very similar fixture where he didn't look so good the last time he played. So it would be nice for Ziyech to play and see exactly what he can do. Now this one is going to be very, very, very important. Very important. Callum Hudson-Odoi on his preferred left-hand side as a forward man. That is where he wants to play. That is his preferred position. So Callum, here's 90 minutes. Show us what you can do in that role. Show us what you can do. I want to see Hudson-Odoi score tomorrow. Or assist, at least. I want and I need to see it. In a game like this, where the pressure isn't really on, it's against good opposition, but opposition where you should still be finding your own. It's in a position that you want to play in. I want to see Callum Hudson-Odoi's final product. Show us what you can do, Callum. Show us, because this is the chance. You want to play as a left-sided forward man? Now's your opportunity to show us exactly what you're made of. And I know he's got top talent. He's a top player. But he lacks that final product, that final pass, that final shot. I want to see him take some shots. Work the keeper. Hopefully he scores from distance. Fingers crossed he finishes well tomorrow. I'd love to see it. So Callum Hudson-Odoi would be playing up in that role for me. And up front, I would go Timo Werner. Because in terms of our strikers, we really haven't got that many options, have we? Let's be honest. We've got Lukaku, we've got Werner, and we've got Havertz, possibly as the other man that we can go to. Tammy's been sold, Giroud's gone, so it's only logical that we go with Timo Werner, who hasn't had that many minutes. He's been, you know, coming on as a sub very briefly and had 25 minutes against Spurs, so he'll be fresh for this. I would play Timo Werner up top. And then if we have to rotate, we can rotate afterwards during a game. So that would be the starting 11 that I think Thomas Tuchel should go with. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you agree, or are there any other names that you would go with? Let me know. I'd love to hear it. Now, in terms of a score prediction, I'm going to be sensible with this one because Aston Villa are going to be playing a strong team. And even though we are rotating heavy, we should still have a team that does get the job done, but not as convincingly because you're seeing players that don't normally play together. You're seeing players that haven't even featured. You're seeing players get minutes that they've been so desperate to get. It's an opportunity for many of these players. It's a chance for these players to show us exactly what they're made of, what they can do. So in an experimental sort of team, at the Bridge, I still expect to win because it's still strong enough, but a narrow win. I am going Chelsea 2, Aston Villa 1. Yes, I think Aston Villa will score. I think they'll find loopholes in a team that don't normally play together. So we'll see what happens. But Chelsea should still have enough quality to get the job done. So I'm going 2-1 win and we advance to the next round. Let's see what happens. But I do want to end on this note. If Chelsea, and it's very possible, we lose tomorrow, if we don't win, and we lose, it's not the end of the world. I just want to say that. It's not the end of the world. We have a lot of competitions that we are in this season. It would be probably beneficial in the long run to eliminate one of them. But personally, I'd love to win the Carabao Cup. I'd love for us to go all the way. Competition ends in February. So it's a chance to get some silverware before going for the last 3 months of the season where you go all out. But considering the Club World Cup, considering the Premier League, the Champions League, we're in the midst of that, the FA Cup will kick off. This competition, it's a lot to deal with. It's not easy at all. And it would be foolish to come on and say we're going to win all of it. We're not. So if we're going to eliminate one, why not this one? might as well experiment, give players minutes, see what they can do, try out some lads, and yeah, we'll see how far we can go. But that's the team I would go with. I'm going with a 2-1 win. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you think we're going to win? Do you think we're going to lose? What team would you play? What's your predictions? I'd love to hear it. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you are new. Hit that notification bell to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash the like button if you've enjoyed this. And in terms of the background, it's been very difficult to try and implement a green screen in my new setup as I've changed a few things around. So, yeah, there's a couple of changes on the way, and I think you're going to like it. So, yeah. Stay tuned is what I'm going to say for what you're going to see behind me. We'll see. Now, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see all of you tomorrow for the watch-along. And then after the watch-along, the match review as always. So, see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Look after yourselves. Take care. And peace.